Hi everyone, I'm Fruit Bat Salad, going to be running Kid Icarus for you here. Hey. Ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick countdown and someone will start a timer, I guess. Let's do 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Kid Icarus. This is one of my favorite NES games, and I'm really happy to be able to play it here. Platformer from 1986, so it's one of the earlier NES games. But yeah, I think that because it's kind of an earlier NES game and it's a little rough around the edges, sometimes it gets overlooked. I think it's an underrated game, and I think it's an underrated speedrun. It's really fun. Kid Icarus is known for being a pretty tough game, but I think the difficulty is kind of balanced out by the fact that you get unlimited lives and unlimited continues. So if I die, send me back to the beginning of the stage I'm on, and you know, I'm never at risk of like a game over or getting sent back to the title screen or anything like that. Let's see. Stage 1 here is pretty straightforward. Just make it to the top. Stage 1-2, there's some stuff that I'll have to explain. All right, so that was 1-1. So something I want to explain about Kid Icarus is that it has kind of a convoluted system for how you can level up your character. There's two different things you can level up. One of them is your strength, and one of them is your health. I'm going to be trying to get a strength upgrade. So the way that works is towards the end of the stage, go in a door, and Zeus will be there. And if we performed well enough on this stage, then Zeus will be happy, and he'll give me a strength upgrade. Performing well on this stage means I have to kill enough enemies and collect enough hearts, which is kind of hard to do because at the same time, I want to go really fast, slow down and kill stuff. Otherwise, I won't get the upgrade. The strength upgrade is going to make my arrows instead of 1. So it's really important. Getting double the firepower. It's a lot faster, and you really don't want to skip this upgrade. So far, I think I'm on track. I think I've killed enough stuff. Reapers see me. These Reaper enemies are interesting because if they see you, they spawn these minions that are called Reapettes. I popped out and I shot them. So there's a little bit of a stealth aspect to it, where sometimes you want to sneak past a Reaper without getting seen. Get seen, you just have to deal with the Reapettes. So here's the door I'm going in for the strength upgrade. This room, and you just, if you don't meet the criteria for the upgrade, this room will just be empty. Honestly, that would be like a reset situation, or at least die and redo the stage, because that upgrade is going to be essential. 1-3 here is one of the toughest stages of the game, and I think in a casual playthrough, I would say 1-3 is the toughest stage, the hardest stage in the game. One of them is this stage is just really long, and it's longer than 1-1, it's longer than 1-2. Hard is I'm not going to have any place to refill my health on this stage. In 1-1 and 1-2, I picked up these health chalices that gave me some health, but they don't give you anything like that in 1-3. So you basically start this stage with one little bar of health, and you have to make it all the way to the top. I might take a hit here. That's okay. I want to get to the top of this to get onto a moving platform as quickly as possible, even if it means getting hit. Here. My health's looking a little sketchy. Hopefully I don't take too many hits for the rest of this stage. Oh, by the way, I was talking about upgrades. And why this stage is hard is because you only have 1 bar of health. And typically after this point, like after 1-3 or 1-4, at your second bar of health. So you just kind of have to get that, you know, make it that far. Make it far enough to get your second bar of health, and the game actually gets easier. Okay. These thorn things do hurt you, so I'm trying to jump through them. They have kind of weird hitboxes. Reaper saw me. I'm gonna stop here and deal with these. Some of these moving platforms you can manipulate a little bit to get them on the first cycle. There's some platforms where you just have to wait. So like right here, I have to wait a little bit. There's going to be a Reaper here who I'm going to try to sneak past. I'm going to try to sneak past while the Reaper is in the doorway. All right, that was bad. So I don't know if you noticed, because I didn't point this out, but in between stages, they do not refill your health. I made it through 1-3. Have enough health to make it through 1-4. Let me see how this next room goes, because I might do an intentional death here. All right, I'm gonna go for it. There's a good chance I might die here. If I die, I just have to do the stage again. This next room has a really important sequence break. I'm gonna attempt to do a wall clip. Killing these things for safety. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, I made it through without getting hit there. I'm gonna kill this guy for safety. 1, 2, 3. The fireball. No fireball. What did I do differently? All right, I can try to lock this boss into place. That's bad. I think I might die here. Well, I made it through with 1 pixel of health. But yeah, you can kind of lock that boss into place by taking an intentional hit. It was kind of a rapid fire trick where you alternate shooting and ducking. It lets your shots get out faster. What about starting the stage with only 1 pixel of health? But I'm just gonna go for it. And if I die, then you'll see this part again. First horizontal stage, and you see these rock enemies. I'm slowing down a little bit to kill some of these and collect hearts. It's because this is also a strength upgrade stage, so I need to kill enough stuff and collect enough hearts. Rock enemies give you the most points and the most hearts, so they're the best thing to focus on killing. Also do the most damage. Pixel of health, so anything would kill me, so to do is make it to a health chalice without dying. Snakes and rocks up ahead. These rocks are gonna kill me. Okay. Chalice is coming up soon, but there's gonna be some enemies. That's okay, made it to the chalice. I have relief, because that chalice means that my health should be fine for the rest of the stage. Try to dodge these. Nah, that's fine. It's okay now that I got to the chalice, and I think I'm on track to get the strength upgrade. Stage should be pretty straightforward. Start describing what you're going to see on the next stage, because on the next stage I'm going to be pretty quiet and focus. 2 is also a horizontal stage. On that stage, we do a trick called a screen wrap, where you're going to see me wrap around to the wrong side of the screen, and I'm going to play all of 2-2 side of the screen. And it means I have to pretty much play the stage from memory. So when I get to that stage, I'm going to be quiet and focus. I'm there. Okay, got the upgrade. That's good. To take a hit here. All right, I'll explain why later. But I'm getting to 2-2, so I'm going to go into focus mode here and hopefully not die. Patience if there are any.
Absolutely. We have a $50 donation from Stormvision. I thought about asking which one is Icarus, but you'd probably think that joke is the pits. Good luck on the run, Fruit Bat Salad. And we have a $25 donation from Rumble Mins. Good luck on the run, Fruit Bat Salad. Thank you both so much for those donations. It's really, really going to a good cause. And hey, speaking of donations, why don't I tell you all about another incentive we have coming up soon? So Pitt may have never learned to read, but that doesn't mean you haven't. So if you would like to read the tag and choose the tag for people to read in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is one of the coziest runs out there, there's a bid war open for that. And no one can stop me from making that terrible joke because I have the mic and you don't, so haha. And how about this music? You know what else is good music? The Twin Harp in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. Because maybe it'll be this music. I actually don't know the full list of Twin Harp songs, but maybe pick your favorites. We have a few choices there. We have Super Mario Bros. And Pokemon, which are both really cool choices. So probably not Kid Icarus, probably not this, but you know. It's different music from games on Nintendo consoles. Don't forget, you can buy those cool shirts at the Yeti. Type exclamation point YETEE in chat to see those.
All right, cool. Made it through stage 2-2. 3, I'm going to do an intentional death here. So you might have noticed over the past couple of minutes, I was taking some damage intentionally, and that was to get a really fast intentional death at the start of 2-3. So now I've got health to work with. We also do this screen wrap on this stage also. Might be the hardest stage in the speed run. I was saying that 1-3 is probably the hardest in a casual playthrough. Here's a scary jump here. A couple of scary jumps later, but that first one onto that platform is sometimes a run killer. Snowball, that's okay. I have to run through some lava here, and I know I'm going to take damage, but I hope it's not going to be too much. Important thing is to stay far enough to the right. All right, so I took like a pretty typical amount of damage there, I'd say. Count these 2, 3, jump. Looks like I'm on a good pixel. So I'm staying far to the right so that there's basically 2 reasons. One of them is that those flying enemies can't hit me. When I'm this far to the right, they can't hit me. And the other reason is a couple of jumps coming up. I can get onto some platforms on the first cycle. Here's the first jump. Close one, and the second jump. Okay, those are scariest jumps in the speed run. You don't have to be all the way to the right to do this stage. Helps though. Projectile's gonna get in my way, I know it. I'll wait. Okay, jump through some more lava here. One hit, that's good. Jump, shoot. This part of the stage can be kind of scary because of enemies. And I had a run that for this morning, so hopefully it goes better. Jump, ball. And late snowman. And there, so I decided it would be better to get hit by the projectile rather than the snowman. It does less damage. Okay, so here's 2-4. This is like you saw 1-4 earlier. I'm going to use some of my hearts to buy a chalice here. So I just bought a chalice for 210. That's the only thing I buy in the speed run. Okay. This next screen, I'm going to do another sequence break. So that's a wall clip that wraps you around to the wrong side of the screen, and it skips most of the stage. It skips most of 2-4, so I'm only a few screens away from the boss now. Wizards, but I'm gonna try to just damage through them. That's usually the best way to deal with this room. Okay. And coming up on the second boss. The second boss is called Hudraw, but I like to think of him as Batun from Super Metroid. You see I'm doing that rapid fire trick again where I duck in between shots? It's a little tough to do that in midair, but it gets your shots out faster. All right, cool. About to get to World 3. So World 3 is going to be vertical stages again. So one of the things I like about Kid Icarus is it has all these different types of gameplay. Because you've got, wait, let me do a death here. You've got vertical stages, horizontal stages, and those fortresses that are laid out like a maze. And then if I get to 4-1, you'll see that 4-1, the final stage of the game, play 2. Messed that up, and that might cost me later. That hit might cost me a lot of time later. We'll find out. Trying to leave some of those hearts behind on purpose because it helps manipulate some of these enemy spawns. Gonna be a Reaper up ahead. I'm gonna try not to get seen. Okay, didn't get seen. Worried about this health and how it's going to affect the later stages, but just go with it and see what happens. If I need to, I could do another intentional death later to get some health back. It just sacrifices some time. That's it for 3-1. 3-1 is a pretty short stage. 3-2 is pretty tough, especially the first half of it. So I know I'm going to take some damage here. Hopefully not too much. Let's see. Okay, getting through that section without damage is good. I'm gonna let this Reaper see me, and I'm gonna jump through him while he's freaking out. I'm gonna let the second Reapet live. I want this one to follow me. Watch out for falling snakes. There are gonna be some Metroids here. This game has Metroids, by the way. Them and try not to get hit. Jump over these two. I let this Reapet follow me is because there's another Reaper right there, and that Reaper wants to spawn 4 Reapets. 1 Reapet on the screen, it can't freak out and spawn 4 Reapets. So it's better to deal with one of those things rather than 4 of them. Darkwing Duck, because that's where I learned that strategy. And a lot of strategies, in fact. Pretty straightforward. I'm trying to keep those octopus enemies near the bottom of the screen by, like, you know, controlling. There's gonna be some falling snakes here. That falling snake is a jerk. That one always gets me, but I shot first this time. Okay, that's it for 3-2. Without getting hit, so I'm glad that 3-2 went well. For manipulation, I'm gonna do here, where I need to kill one of these Metroids while it's moving to the right. There. And by killing that particular Metroid while it's moving to the right, it manipulates these moving platforms to be where I want them to be. And it let me get through all of those on the first cycle. Playthrough, you have to kind of wait for platforms to line up. Or in the speedrun for some stages, but you know, it's nice when we can manipulate where we want. Okay. Top half of 3-3 is one of my favorite parts of the game. There's going to be a cool section here with some rooftops that we jump off of. This is kind of an awkward jump. A little scary. All right, cool. So, coming up on 3-4, this is the last fortress stage. And I need to explain really fast that there's a really big sequence break on this one. All 3 of the fortresses have a sequence break that involves doing a wall clip. This one is the best out of all of them. all, I'm gonna do a wall clip here just as a shortcut. The big sequence break in this is gonna happen in a shop. I'm gonna get to the lower right corner of the map. Right corner of the map, and I'm gonna do a wall clip, and I'm gonna touch the door from the wrong side, and it's gonna warp me out of the stage. Second try, not bad. So that warps you out of the stage. That skips so much of this stage. 3-4 is a really big maze. It's a really long fortress. It has a really annoying boss at the end, and we just skipped all of it. So shout out to Bad Breaks, who discovered that trick in 2015. Final stage of the game, 4-1. Now this stage, you can see, is an auto-scroller. It's a shooter. So yeah, lots of different types of gameplay crammed into one game. Auto-scroller, there's not a lot that you can do to speed it up, but there is still some strategy to this stage. There's an interesting mechanic where you have to kill at least 50 enemies. Otherwise, the stage will just loop. It'll just like keep looping until you've killed 50 enemies. Possible to kill 50 in the first loop, so, you know, all in one shot. I think I'm on track to do that. To play this game, and I didn't realize that you had to kill 50 enemies. I just always assumed that the stage loops a couple of times. I didn't realize there was a reason behind it. Tension there. Kind of makes sense in a weird way, because it reminds me of in Mario 1 when you're in the Bowser stages, and there are those sections where if you take the wrong path. So this kind of reminds me of that. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to explain the final boss fight because it's coming up pretty soon. The final boss fight is Medusa, and the easiest boss fight in the game because the developers accidentally left in a safe spot where if I get into the right spot and just hover there, it's hard for me to get hit. So I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to warn you that there are a lot of flashing lights, so if you're sensitive to flashing lights, for about the next 60 seconds, there's going to be flashing lights. Medusa shoots two things, and when I stream this, I always like to explain that out of her hair, and she shoots beams out of her eyes. But the beams flicker really fast. The beams flicker at like 60 frames per second, so sometimes they don't show up correctly on the stream. 30 frames per second. So if you don't see beams, just trust me that she's shooting beams out of her eyes that are passing right below me. Go up on stream. But the snakes aren't really that big of a deal. And yeah, that's it. So coming up on time pretty soon when this transitions to the next cutscene. That's it. Cool, I see verification from chat that you were able to see the beams. So we got the, I think it's a 50-50 coin flip on my stream. The 60 frames per second versus 30. Yeah, so oh, by the way, we get the worst ending. Pit gets a sickle and a farmer's hat. 5 different endings. And they're not based on time. You know, Metroid has different endings based on time. Based on how many things did you upgrade. And in the any percent run, there's a lot of stuff that we skip. Like, I skipped so many of those doors that I just walked past. Go in all these doors, there are like training rooms and upgrade rooms and all kinds of other stuff that you can get. If you upgrade lots of stuff, there's 5 different endings. If you want to see more of that stuff, category for best ending. And the best ending category is more like closer to what you might consider a 100% run. Where I only upgraded my strength twice. So I'm gonna wrap up in just a minute here. These credits are almost over, but I want to say a big thank you to Power Up with Pride. I'm really happy I got to run this. I've been watching Power Up with Pride for a couple of years now, and I've wanted to run this game and Power Up with Pride for a long time. So this was really great for me. It's really great to support such a good cause.
Well, thanks for running.
So yeah, everyone, stay tuned for more great runs. Half Coordinated is coming up next. I want to see that run. So yeah, thank you. I'm going to hand it off.